No, I really did. I did put the wrong size tyres on my car. It's not clickbait. These are not the size that came on the car. Did I do it accidentally? No, I chose to put the wrong size tyres on my car. Why? Well, hang around and find out. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel by hitting that button below and stay tuned. So when we got this car, it came with Pirelli P Zeros on each corner, front and rear. This is the all-wheel drive variant. It runs a Haldex system. 90% of the time, it's probably about 80% rear-wheel drive, 20% front-wheel drive. When traction starts breaking loose, the computer wizardry in the car starts changing the distribution of power to make it more or less four-wheel drive, depending on the conditions and what the car needs for traction. It is absolutely no secret in F-type circles that the P Zeros have very little grip. It's almost P Zero for zero grip. When the rears got low, I changed to Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss. A lot more grip. Everybody online was saying how much of a difference it made to the car. Better in the wet, better off the line. So I made the switch, and I'll tell you what, it's probably one of the best things I've ever done for this car. The difference is phenomenal, and we'll come on to that in a bit. Now, as standard, the non-SVR variants of this car, and this is an R, the 5 litre, come with a 295/30 R20, and I've gone for a 305/30 R20. Now, what does that mean? So on your tyre sidewall, you have 3 measurements. You've got your first number, which is the width of the tyre, your second number, which is the ratio of the sidewall, so the sidewall height, how deep that is, and your third, which is your rim size. So in this case, we've got a 305 wide, 30 high sidewall profile, and a 20-inch rim. Now this car came with a 295/30/20. Now with that wider tyre, you can see the depth that this hangs over the edge of the rim a bit more, giving more protection and more grip, because it's got more of a footprint on the road, more contact area. All round, in my opinion, provides a better solution. So if we have a look here, you can see how much protection that gives to the rim. If we compare it to the P Zero up front, can you see how that sidewall just slopes in ever so much more compared to back here, where it's a lot more vertical? Big difference. And just look at how wide they are. They are bonkers wide. So what I've done is I've put a wider tyre on the back, but also in making that tyre wider, although this second number here has stayed the same, because it's a ratio of the width, effectively the sidewall has become a little bit higher, so that has increased. Now, anyone that can drag their mind back to maths lessons at schools, or indeed you might even do this for a living, circumference and rolling circumference will have a dictation on speed. The more number of revolutions we do in a minute, or the greater the circumference of what we're revolving on, will mean we increase our speed. So in increasing the tyre size, have I knocked my speedo out of calibration? So this topic gets no end of debate online. So let's try and put that to bed, hopefully once and for all. So what I've got on my phone is a GPS speed tracking app, and it does everything from your 0 to 60 to your current time that you're doing whilst travelling. So let's bang the cruise control on and see if that increase in circumference has changed what we're seeing on the speedo compared to what we're seeing in real life. Now, it's worth mentioning that your speedo will typically always underread anyhow out the box. Manufacturers err on the side of caution to allow for people not to get caught speeding when they have the cruise control on, or they're reading their speedo and it's telling them a certain speed. Sadly, I didn't do this before I took the P Zeros with that smaller sidewall off. But what we'll do, we'll get up to 50 mile an hour with the cruise control on, and we'll see exactly what we're getting on that GPS tracking app. So we've got ourselves a long straight road can't necessarily say it's empty. We're in the UK and it's a Saturday and there's stuff going on in the local area at Goodwood and whatnot. But let's get the car up to 50 mile an hour. Let's pop the cruise control on and see what that app is saying on the phone. So let's get the car up to 50 mile an hour. Let's put the cruise control on. There we are, we're doing 50 mile an hour, cruise is on. And let's see what that app on the phone is saying. So according to the GPS, we're doing 47, 48 mile an hour, which is still comfortably below the 50 mile an hour that the car's reading. So I know I'm not going to get pinched for speeding, I'm not going to inadvertently be going faster than I think I am because of that different circumference in the tyres. Let's knock it up, let's do 60, see if it's proportionately the same or if it changes with the increase in speed. So the cruise control is on at 60 again, we're doing 60 mile an hour and we're 2 mile an hour below. It's saying 58 on that app. And let's do 70. Miles an hour, both on the cruise and the car, and we're doing 68 mile an hour. 2 miles below again. I'd say we're safe. I think we can stop this boring science experiment. So in my opinion, a totally worthwhile modification. It's worth mentioning that the SVRs come out of the box with that size tyre on, that size rim. So we know that nothing's rubbing, it's the same body shell. It's slightly different componentry underneath in the wheel arches, but it's the same shape, same geometry, same wheel size, and those tyres come out of the factory from Jaguar. The difference in grip that those PS4 S's have given is night and day. Not only off the line, out of the trap, but also the back end doesn't get half as tail happy. You've got a lot more confidence. I really need to get those fronts changed out because it is quite confusing driving this with two different sets of tyres across the axles. They're the same on the axle, so each corner on that axle has the same, but you've got the Michelins on the back and the P Zeros on the front, which is not a good position to be in. I couldn't really bring myself to changing out the P Zeros when they still had about 7 mil on at the front. I think they're down to 6 millimeters now. I will change them out. I just really cannot be keeping those on there, especially with how well the PS4s perform on the back. So hopefully that has cleared up a lot of debate. You can fit bigger tyres to your car. Not every car is going to be the same. You might have clearance issues depending on what's happening in that wheel arch. So check, do your measurements, but certainly the world hasn't caught fire with those on, and I'd say it's improved the handling and the performance of the car absolutely no end. As always, I do really appreciate the support this channel gets, so thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I can see a lot of you aren't, so please think about hitting that button down the bottom if you've enjoyed what you've watched today, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, I'm always looking for a new coffee spot. I just love stopping for a coffee when I'm out for a drive. What is this? Let's have a look. Not seen any of these in the wild yet, that's pretty cool. Electric transporter and the grandfather over there. That's really cool. Let's see what this is about. Nailed it. Met a couple of great people, spoke about bikes, spoke about cars, got a coffee. Absolute winner in my books.